Hi, this is Hugh Peabody from Bush Chicken, reporting from Staten Island, New York. I'm sitting here with one of the community leaders, Mr. Tama Aguilas. I'd like to welcome you to this special Bush Chicken.
Thank you very much.
I will just start by asking you a little bit about yourself. Give us your background.
Tama Aguilas. I'm a resident of Staten Island, New York. I have lived here for the past 6 years. My background, professional background, is in a non-profit work, which I have done over the years overseas, working for a non-profit organization, development-related work. But since my arrival here, I have worked in education, the financial services, as well as the non-profit sector. I have a bachelor's in business, and I'm currently finishing up a master's in public administration, and I hope to use that to better, my community and my people.
Okay. I hear what you said to better your community and your people. You contested, or you ran in the last election, right? And what was the problem? At the end of the day, you did not win. Is there a problem?
Yeah, I think we have many problems. Despite the fact that we did accept the results, in the interest of this community, because we wanted to keep this community together.
Or in the interest of the community?
In the interest of the community, we accepted the results. But there were many problems, even before the day of the elections. The election was once postponed because people were being turned away. People who had registered, people who had voter cards, and they couldn't find their names on the ballot. So, we had some problems. And we have logistical problems because at the end of the day, the election commission was not able to get out there to as many librarians as we wanted them to get registered to participate in the going election. And also on the day of election, people show up and they couldn't find their names on the list. And these are some of the problems that we had. But despite all of those shortcomings, we accepted when we lost the election by less than 20 votes. We still accepted the results.
Okay, I'm kind of confused when you said that because of the community you accepted it. I mean, you do have the process. I mean, if you didn't agree with it, I'm sure you guys have the board, you have constitution that you go by. Why didn't you follow those steps?
Well, we in fact did go through those steps, and the board did reason with us, and in fact the election commission did reason with us that we had every reason to challenge the results of the election. But the Liberian Community Association around the states have a history of fighting, not accepting results, splitting between the board and executive leadership, and we didn't want to set such a precedent. In fact, the recent election in the history of Staten Island, before the one I ran in, ended up in the Staten Island Supreme Court. And we didn't want to follow the same path. We thought that, okay, it was time that we move forward, despite the fact that we had shortcomings, but we wanted to give the new leadership a chance to prove themselves, to do something meaningful, and to bring this community together. Something that we haven't seen done as of yet.
Okay. Mr. Teddy Brown, of course, we're in January, beginning of the year. Mr. Teddy Brown is the current president for the Community Association for Liberian Staten Island. Before December, his time will be up. I don't want to ask you if you're going to be running, but my question to you is, because I've talked to a lot of people in the community, and they are giving support for you. They are very unhappy with the ongoing process where I think the private input. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I'm in fact aware of the court process because 6 months within the new administrations, being in power, there was this fight between the board and the executive, leadership. And that's basically what we have told the community in the past, that electing the same people who have been in leadership in this community for the past 5 years, 10 years will bring nothing new. And they prove us right because it's just what has happened. And what we are looking at basically is to see what's going to be the decision of the courts, but to see how we can step in to move this community forward if we are given a chance again.
Well, what's some of the problems you see that's that you see with this community right now, with this presidential thing that led up by Teddy Brown? What's some of the problems that you see right now that you think that you can fix if you had an opportunity to be there?
Well, I think the major problem we have within the Staten Island Liberian Community Association, and in particular, and the Liberian Associations American in general, is that most of the time people build their leadership around a personality, instead of building their leadership to really serve the people, for the purpose for which they were elected or they were selected to a given position. And we want to change that. Leadership shouldn't be built around somebody or one personality. I think that also shows within our political landscape throughout the Liberian communities. We were running basically to change the status quo, to bring about a leadership style wherein the communities are given the opportunity to participate, wherein you build mutual trust with your partners. The board is not an adversary to the executive leadership. The board is a partner to the executive leadership, and vice versa. So those two groups must learn to build trust and work together as a team working towards the common goal.
Okay, so at this point, since the last election, what are you doing right now? Are you participating in anything community-wise? What is your own contribution right now?
Yes, in fact, we have been, I ran on the platform of my group called the Community Action for Change. And after we lost the election, in fact, we have been able to organize the community into different groups. We have a financial club that has been in operation for the past year, and it was very successful. At the end of the year, all the members were very satisfied. We also have a social and athletic club, and that club has also been doing pretty well. We have 48 members, and I'm a member, organizing member of that social club. And we recently adopted our bylaws, and the organization is moving forward. So that's just to show you that I have been very involved in this community, from the day I moved here up to today, and we've been very active in the community.
Well, Mr. Thomas Gillis, I want to say thank you for taking time to talk with Bush Chicken. In the nearby future, maybe we'll need to talk to you again. Continue your hard work. And before this interview, we'll try to reach the current president, Mr. Teddy Brown. We're still waiting for him to return our call. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.